Hey guys, Darren here. Thanks for joining the Stock Options Market Weekly Update for the week of December 4th, 2023. We are going to touch on where we are year to date in the S&P 500, the different sectors and how they performed last week and year to date and what we see going forward. And we're going to touch on economic data that came out last week, as well as what's coming out this week. And we're finally going to go through all the trades that we have on the option trading platform individually. I think it's super important that we understand all the option trading strategies that the rich are using to get richer. Then we can use those same tools and strategies ourselves so that we can profit in any market. I promise we're going to dig into many detailed option trading tips and tricks. So if you haven't already, please go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button below, and we'll profit and learn together. It really helps out the channel, and I really appreciate it. So thank you very much. Also, be sure and download the free options workshop in the link below. It talks about the two main benefits of trading options over buying stocks alone. Disclaimer, I'm not a financial planner. I'm not recommending trades, so please do your own research. And if you're new or learning options, I do recommend that you start small. All right, guys, we started the week last week in the S&P 500 at 45.59 and ended up at 45.94. So up slightly last week. We were up year to date about, 16.7%. We started the year at 38.24, and we are all the way up again at the 45.94 level right now. So the forward PEs are 18.7 right now, and that is above the 17.5 historical average. So a little above fair market value and up pretty good this year. As far as the economic calendar on MarketWatch coming out this week, or actually let's look at last week first. So last week we had the core PCE down here that came in at 0.2%, which was the forecast. And so that was pretty good for the market and helped the market last week. And we also, this week, have jobless claims coming out on Thursday. 224,000 is the median forecast. The previous was 218,000. And then we've also got unemployment on Friday, and the forecast is 190,000 jobs lost, and the previous was 150,000. Looking at the FactSet Earnings Insight report, and page 1, we see that the year-over-year earnings growth rate for the S&P 500 is 4.8%. And then if we scroll down to page 18 on this report, or actually page 17. No, it is 18. We look for Q4 2023. Analysts are projecting earnings growth of 3% and revenue growth of 3.1%. And then for calendar year 2024, next year as a whole, earnings growth of 11.7% and revenue growth of 5.4%. So that's still very good. It's been pretty steady going forward the last couple of months and looking at calendar year 2024. And it's priced in, and that's why we're up, 17% this year. And then if we look at page 36, the PEs, again, energy, I think, is a good buy. Real estate. So energy, we're at 10.6, the forward PE, versus the 10-year historical average is 15.6. And then real estate is 16.8 versus the 5-year average of 19.4. And then, let's see, utilities is still a little bit low, 15.7 versus 17.6 10-year average, and consumer staples is down a little as well. Moving on to the sectorspiders.com website, we can see the different sectors and how they performed. This is over the last 5 days, and we can see the communication services was the only one that was down Real estate was up really big, 4.65% last week. Financials did well as well at 2.23%. Communication services is really Meta and Google. They're like 25% each, so they make up 50% of that communication services, and they were down 3% for the week. So that's why overall the sector is down quite a bit. I still like year to date. If we look at the year to date, you can see tech, communication services is up, the Google and Facebook. Consumer discretionary, surprisingly, is up, and then technology as well. And I still like energy moving forward from here. I like financials next year. There should be an interest rate. Their interest rates are high. That's how banks make money, loaning on higher rates, and they're expected to drop the middle of next year. Around May, I think, will be the first cut or expected cut. But I also like healthcare moving forward, and it's down a little bit year to date, but going forward, it should do very well. So if we move on to the trades on the trading platform, again, what I like to look at is the IVR and the strategy that we have on. And the IV rank you can see right here in Chewy is 102. They've got earnings next week. But if we go to the left here and we put on positions, and I sort by alphabetical order, I can see, and then I can see that we've got earnings on 12/6 in Chewy, L3 and Lockheed Martin have earnings coming up in January, as well as Verizon and Wells Fargo. But I'm going to scroll that over right now and take that out. And then we'll look at these trades individually. I like to look at, besides the IVR and the price, the monthly range, the 1-year target based on the 5-year trend line, and how I've performed. I like to trade stocks that I performed well in the past, so that I can hopefully duplicate that moving forward. And then, any news and earnings that comes out, we want to be aware of that as well. So right now for Apple's one that I always look at, but IVR is so low in Apple, and I like Apple long term, but the IVR is kind of low at 1.5 IVR rank, so I'm not doing anything in Apple right now. But if we look at AMD, it's been a really good stock for us year to date, just over the last. You can go here on the right and look at the order change. This is what's great on the Tasty Trade platform. There's a link you can check out as well. But we made 130 bucks in the AMD over the last 30 days, and over the last 180 days, yeah, we've made over $676. If you like this platform, again, there's a link to Tasty Trade, and if you open with you open with money, you can get cash back. I do recommend that you open with about $5,000 so you can place quite a few different trades. And again, start small if you're just starting out. But AMD came down a little bit last week, down to 121. So we've got an iron condor on, a $10 wide put spread, because I did move up my put, and we're at 125 on the call side. So if we go to the trade tab and curve mode and analysis checked, we can see the green profit range and our spreads right here, the call spread and the put spread. And we're, a little bit to the upside, but we're in that range. And, I like the range that we're trading in. I like to look at the monthly range. If we click here on the chart, then we can go to monthly, 1 month, and then I go to the 30-minute, and then you can kind of see the range. And I've got some horizontal lines for resistance and support, but we're right between, the 124, 118 level. We're right where we need to be for this trade to be profitable and to continue to move or make profits moving forward. Long term, I've got a 140 target, and we're at 121. So, and the way that I come up with that, again, is I go to the 5-year chart, and then I go to weekly. I'll show you on this one so we can see. And then you can see I kind of just draw a trend line. This is from 2019. kind of follow it. And you can see we're below it right now. So that's where, I see that 140 target is where I've got it. And that's what we're shooting for. They are big in AI. AI is the buzz term. All the AI stocks are doing really well right now. But let's see, let's go back to the positions. I've got 12 days to expiration, and we've got 155, if you look at this extrinsic, still left to come in on this trade. But because we're in the middle of the range, I'm still waiting. Normally I would roll by now, but I'm going to try to collect more premium because it is trading within that range. So this one I'm hanging on to a little bit longer. All right, we're going to move through quicker than that one. But Chewy's got earnings this week. I'm actually working on a video, so keep your eyes out for that. Should be coming out. I hope to put it out tomorrow, but they've got Wednesday after the close. Earnings comes out, and I've got a great trade for you, so keep your eyes out for that one coming tomorrow. And then yeah, and we'll talk more about, I'm not going to talk about Chewy right now, but I've got basically a a strangle that I pulled in the call side, and we are profitable from 17 to 24. We're in that range, but again, I'm putting on more trades this week. And we'll talk about that in the video. But DraftKings is another one that has done very well for us this year. Oh, going back real quick to Chewy, just looking, it has been profitable for us, over the last year. Haven't traded a lot, but $184 over the last year that we made in Chewy. Okay, DraftKings. DraftKings has been a very good one for us, up big over the year. Yeah. Oh, sorry about that. Let me go back. 365 days, we've made $2,191 trading DraftKings. And we've got 2 long leaps options now on 400 days out. We sold a call against it. I closed one of the calls. So I do poor man's covered calls on DraftKings. As it moves up on big up days, I'll throw on another call here. But you can see we've done pretty well. The chart, again, the long term on DraftKings is kind of ugly, but I like them going forward. And if we look at the 30, let's look at the 30-day chart, the 1 month, and again, the 30-minute. And you can see the range. It's at the top of the range right now, so that's why I've got my 40 call on, and it's been doing well. They, along with FanDuel, are the top online gambling stocks. As more states get approved, they're going to continue to do well. So I really like DraftKings moving forward. And let's see, let's move on. So FCX is a new one that I'm putting on, or I'm looking to put on. So I've already put the trade in there, but I was looking at this, and I'm thinking of doing a put credit spread. IVR is not real high, but it has been doing well. It's expected to do very well moving forward, and that's why I'm looking at Freeport-McMoRan. They're big in copper mining and other minerals, and I want a little diversification with that, and it's one of the best in that field. Google is another one that I'm looking to put on this week and do a put spread and possibly buy a call because it had a big 3% down move last week. I think Google is a screaming buy at these levels. So, that is why I want to trade Google going forward. I've got a target of 180 to 200, and it's at 131 right now. So we'll look and see if we can get that Google trade on this week. Humana is an insurance company stock. It went down quite a bit last week. I'm not sure why. I'm going to need to look into that, but I'm not worried about it. They've got a ton of cash. I've got a target of 580, and it's at 495. If we look at the trade page, we're still right in the profit range, and anywhere up, and it's just had a big down move, you can see. But I'm long Humana. I'm going to stay that way moving forward. L3 defense stock, and 195 and a 22 IVR. It's done well for us. Just in the last 30 days, we've made 430 bucks. We just started trading this in the last 30 days, but we made $430 in L3. Going along, and we know what's going on in the world, and we're going to have to keep producing military equipment, and military expenditures are not going to stop anytime soon. And we've got to protect our freedom, and that L3 as well as Lockheed Martin are going to continue to do well. And Lockheed Martin, same situation. Last 30 days, $237. So I rolled the L3 to December. This week I'll need to roll Lockheed Martin. There's still a lot that hasn't come in, and it was down last week, and we're right at 449, and we're profitable above the 450 level. So I'm waiting for that to go up, and then I can collect. You can see if you scroll in the green area, anywhere above there, the 450, I collect, $190. So there's a lot to collect. That's why I'm waiting in the last 12 days going forward. Palantir is another one that I like long term, and Palantir is, in the last 180 days, let's see what we made, $455. So we've been doing pretty well in Palantir. And if we look at the levels, it's right in the middle of that range. And the short-term weekly range, it seems to stay, between that 21 level, and it gets down to 18. But it broke a little above that, a couple of weeks ago. But we're in that range, and we've got on a leaps option, the 10, and then we've sold a call against it, the 20. And then I actually, because it was at the top of that range, I sold a put, and that hasn't done too well. So 5 days left. If we come down Monday in Palantir, and the reason I put that on is because we were up at the top of this range. It did come down a little, but I needed to come down more from 20. I think it will. I think it's going to get down to this level. It tends to trade up and down, so that's why I've got that put on. But I don't typically do that, but just threw it out there and tried it. But I like Palantir long term. They're huge in commercial and defense AI software. So great field looking forward. Snow was another one. Last week I did an earnings trade. I need to take that off, but they are that trade actually did pretty well. I'm going to close that out. There's only a few dollars left, but I'm going to close that out next week. SoFi is a bank stock. Earning, let me see. We're at 7.8. So actually it came up quite a bit last week, up from 6.8 to 7.8. So that's up 12 or 13%. So we made a lot of money back that we were down year to date. But SoFi's a behemoth moving forward, and I'm definitely long SoFi. It could, go to 15, 20, next year easily. It's a new stock, so I'm not. You can't really look at the 5-year trend line, but we probably made $1,000 up just last week in SoFi. SQQ, when the market is up, SQQ is down. When the market's way up, I sometimes buy shares of SQQ, and I'll wait till it goes back up and hits the 18, 19 range, and then I'll sell them off. So it's just kind of another way of hedging the portfolio with SQQQ. I also do it with selling SPX call credit spreads, and I didn't get to do it SPX last week because I was traveling. So I'll make sure to update that after this week, and I'm going to be trading SPX this week. TDOC is Teladoc Health, and that's virtual health, and they own a lot of companies, been acquiring companies. We've done pretty well over the last year, trading in and out of it, $632 over the last year. And it's basically leaps. And then when on big up days, I'll sell calls against those leaps options. But Teladoc is a great stock that I'm long on. Verizon, I accumulate shares when that's down. It's a huge dividend play. So Verizon, I'm still long. That's my dividend stock that I look to acquire on down days. I've got a $40 target. We're up near that $38 range, and the IVR is very, very low. But you could do a leaps, but I like to collect that dividend, so that's why I buy the shares outright. Wells Fargo is one of the few banks that I have on right now still. I just like to keep an eye on the banks and financials moving forward. I know that Wells will do well moving forward. Had a good week last week, moved up to 45 from 43. IV rank is very low, but I think banks will come back, the first half of next year at some point, and then I'll jump into more banks, particularly probably B of A, BAC. ExxonMobil has been underperforming, but I honestly don't get it. Energy stocks should be printing money as crude oil goes up, and we've used our strategic petroleum reserves, much of them. I expect oil to move higher and ExxonMobil to do very well. Going forward, if we look at earnings, you can click right here on the left on the Tasty Trade platform and put all earnings, and then you can scroll over here, and then you can sort here by the earnings date, and you can see next week all the stocks that have earnings. The ones that I'm gonna be looking at are Chewy. I've got actually I'm gonna sort them by Chewy. They don't even list. I don't know why. I like Chewy. But I'm going to do a video on Chewy, and then I'm going to be looking at Lululemon. They come out on Thursday after the bell. Chewy is Wednesday after the bell or after the close. So you'd want to put your for Lululemon, actually for Chewy, since I'm going to do that one. If we're Wednesday after the bell, then Wednesday during the day is when we'd want to put that trade on, and I'll put that video out tomorrow, Monday. So keep an eye out for that. And then Lulu is Thursday after the bell. You want to put that trade on Thursday. And then DocuSign is the other one that I'm looking at doing a trading, and it is Thursday after the bell as well. So I may get to do videos on DocuSign and Lulu as well, but I've definitely got Chewy. Keep your eyes out for those. All right, guys, I put a link down below for the free options workshop. Remember to grab that. Remember to hit like and subscribe. I really appreciate it. It helps out the channel. There's also coaching and a automatic options income course that's a paid course, very reasonably priced. Let me know what you are trading today. Any questions that you have, leave a comment. I answer every one. And thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.